make it 3 words. Basically just not where I wanted to be. So I felt like a bit of a hamster on the wheel, really, and struggling to look after myself. I was 50 last year, which is a significant milestone and makes you think, well, I'm on the way down now for life rather than on the way up. No, I wanted to increase that up curve. I want to do all I can. And I've just lost my brother-in-law that was only a couple of years older than me as well. And I started thinking, right, I want to do what I need to do to give myself the best chance of longevity and fitness and well-being and things. And as I say, when I went into it was more from a physical and well-being state. I didn't actually know what the well-being bit of it meant. And then when I had my first discovery call with Will, I was intrigued in the processes. And I must admit, when he kind of said, "Oh, you'd be meditating every day," I was a bit like, yeah, whatever. But actually, I mean, that for me is where the biggest improvements have been. I think I've got an incredibly stressful job. I travel globally. I have a lot of responsibility. I have a family that I try and make work as well. And it's made me realise that I was a bit foggy, really. I was struggling to prioritise. I was struggling to manage myself mentally. I previously suffered, well, I suppose I do still, technically, from depression, from a bereavement I'd had in my family. So I've had that for a couple of years as well. So all in all, I think whilst I suppose on the surface I was coping, I think mentally I probably wasn't coping with everything that was thrown at me. And the process has really made me in so much a better place. It's unbelievable, really. The mental organisation is really good as well. So the kind of non-negotiables on the start of the day, get up, exercise, journal, have a bit of time, have a cup of tea, think about the day ahead, has really got me into a position where I'm organised. And over the last month or so, which it sounds really stupid, right? I'm running a company that's going to turn over 300 million this year, 2,000 employees, blah, 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 all those things. I've actually found myself sat there going, right, I haven't got anything to do. I've done the jobs list, I've done the emails, I'm on top of everything. And that organisation and clarity around tasks and managing yourself is the biggest thing that's had the impact on me, I think. Physically is the consistency. I think, as I mentioned to you as well, I travel quite a bit. I was in Malaysia last week. I'm flying down to New Zealand on Sunday. So staying on top of the process with being away and traveling, and through the process with Will, I've been I've been doing global shows. I've been everywhere. I've been doing loads of stuff. So actually, the challenge for me, I suppose, is staying on the process and just trying not to get deflated if you don't achieve it, but then not to let it run away from you. I think mentally it's been easier for me than I expected. I'm quite an open person. I'm quite willing to try new things. So me buying into the process, I think it has been a good thing. Really, it's been a good thing. So, and I can really feel the improvements. My family can see the improvements. I'm not sat here in the evenings stressing about work because I'm on top of everything. I've done it in the day. I'm trying not to bring it home, and just kind of trying to enjoy life, really, which is what it's about ultimately. I think, having the clarity around a vision even if it's day to day or the longer term or where I want to get to, or a 6 months target and things like that, really helps you. And what's interesting about it is if you the thing that struck me about it is at work, I'm always talking about our 10-year strategy. This is where we're going, these are the targets and stuff like that. But nobody ever does that in their life, do they? Or not many people do that in their life. But if you actually think about it and set yourself some goals of where you want to get to, it might sound a bit boring, but actually it's like, for instance, putting money aside to pay off a mortgage or something. We've set ourselves when we're going to do that next year. And whilst opportunities come up, you kind of go, right, okay, no, for another year, we've agreed we're going to do this, we're going to stick to that plan, and it'll be brilliant in a year's time because we won't have a mortgage, so it'll be really good. I particularly, I said, one of the first things I said to him is, give me a jobs list and I'll just smash through it. I'm that type of person where I like to see results from an actions list or a jobs list, or, I live my life by everything that comes up, I just write down, so that electronically now rather than on a bit of paper, but just so it keeps me on track. So I think that cadence of doing stuff has really helped me, and obviously it's ramped up through the process. And I'm lucky enough because I've got a gym at home in my garage, but I can't say I've ever been a fan of going to the gym, but I have really enjoyed it. And I've now got into go to the gym. It's now an hour. I listen to a podcast. So you're layering on top of stuff because you learn. I listen to the high performance podcast, or I listen to Stephen Bartlett or things like that. So you're actually learning stuff while you're working out, and you can take tips from that. So I think it's just, we've talked about it quite a bit, is just resetting that baseline all the time. So if you're improving your baseline and keep working to make it better, you're getting better all the time, aren't you? His style's quite direct, which I quite like. I'm not one for beating around the bush. It's kind of make a decision and go with it. And felt at the start that our methodology, if you like, or our mindset would match, because he kind of says that we're doing this, I need to know now, sort of thing, and you're like, yeah, okay, I'm going to do it. Helping with through the process is, I've said it to him a few times, it's like where I've woken up and I'm just like, I really don't want to go and work out, and then as I said to him, you got a little wheel on your shoulder going, kind of, he's not little, is he? You've got a big wheel on your shoulder going, you need to get up, you said you'd do this. The reminders through the app as well of 6 o'clock popping up going, right, you've got this workout to do and stuff. That really keeps you on track, and he's not like, you've got to do this, you've got to do this, you've got to do this, you've got to do this. I think he's understanding that life gets in the way. For me particularly, is like business dinners and events and bits and bobs like that. So he's understanding, but he kind of guides you in the right way. I think the way that he builds his program, he's given me like this crazy meditation guy, this American guy, that's the 3 minutes of breathing before you start, and it's like we're having this conversation. If it rolled up with that on week 1, I would have literally just run away and gone, well, this is crazy. So the build up of the process, getting to know each other, he's good at capturing what we talk about and building on what we talk about. So I feel very safe, and he's good at, I trust him. So I think having somebody that you trust and you believe in will get you better in a process, I think, is a really good thing. Well, it felt great. Physically I could see the changes, doing photos every couple of weeks really helped. A bit of a belly to start with, that's now gone. I haven't hit what we set out as a weight ambition, so that's something we're going to work on going forward. I think it's encouraging, but again, it just makes me want to go, as I said about resetting the baseline and going again, it makes me ambitious to do more, sort of thing. So I don't like sitting on my laurels. It's kind of like, let's keep going. I like the consistency of it. I think the interaction's very good. I think the app's really good. I think, as I say, I felt safe and in good hands as far as the process was concerned. I felt like very quickly Will understood me, understood particularly the pressures I'm under, and has been considerate around that. Everywhere positively, I'd say. Career-wise, as I said, I'm much more organised. I think I'm a much better focused manager. The gratitude element of it was something that I didn't expect as well, and the actual giving is as rewarding as is much more rewarding than receiving. So I've really made an effort. I walk round the site at work. I say hello to everybody. I smile at everybody. The ones I know, I'll talk to about their family and things like that. So I am giving a lot more of myself whilst feeling under less pressure, under less time pressure. So I work with Chinese bosses, and they're not the easiest, but I've managed to, I described it to someone yesterday as I've got into a bit of a Zen state where I don't get too excited if they say stuff we like, and I don't get too down if they don't. I think that consistent, controlled mentality with a sprinkling of positivity on it is what we need as a business. At home, it's just, we've always been close as a family, but my wife and I particularly, we're just enjoying life, really we're happy to spend time together, exercise, we're out, go to the beach and things like that. We're in a really happy place. As I said about the about being depressed, I've been on antidepressants now for about 2.5 years. And we've decided that I'm going to come off them. I've started the process of coming off them, which is off the back of what I've done with Will, because my mental state is able to do that. And so if you look at it health-wise, that I'm stopping medication because of the process, but I'm in 10 times a better place. I think that's a really positive. But day on day, you probably don't notice it. But yeah, absolutely. I feel so much happier. And just focused on really, I've got into a routine of 5:30. I get up now, go to the gym, journal, have a cup of tea. That's time where, I set my stall out for the day, and then by the time it gets to 8 o'clock and we've finished or something, you can look back and say, yeah, I actually achieved what I wanted to do. So yeah, I have come a massively long way, but it's really good, really good.